How to Live Your Best Year Ever by Earl Nightingale. Lesson 1. The Magic of Attitude. We become what we think about most of the time. This simple truth contains the most powerful force in the universe, a force that you have complete control over right this very moment. Picture this world we live in as a giant mirror, constantly reflecting back to us the very thoughts we hold in our minds. Have you ever noticed how people who expect the worst often find it? Or how those rare people who maintain an attitude of cheerful expectancy seem to attract good fortune wherever they go? This is no accident or coincidence. Your attitude is the one great decision you make every day that shapes everything else. It's more important than your past, your education, your bankroll, your failures or successes. The remarkable thing is that we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day, and this choice determines our destiny far more than our circumstances ever could. I once knew a shoe salesman who worked in a small-town store. While his colleagues complained about limited opportunity, this man decided his attitude would be one of service and abundance. Within a year, he had quadrupled his income simply by deciding to see each customer as an opportunity to help, rather than just make a sale. His circumstances hadn't changed, but his attitude had transformed his reality. Would you like to experience this transformation in your own life? Try this 6-day experiment. For the next 6 days, start each morning by looking in the mirror and saying, "Today, I choose an attitude of expectation and gratitude of expectation and gratitude." Then, throughout your day, catch yourself whenever negative thoughts arise. Don't fight them. Simply replace them with thoughts of what you want rather than what you don't want. This mental reset works because your mind cannot hold two opposing thoughts at the same time. By consciously choosing positive expectations, you begin programming your subconscious to look for opportunities rather than obstacles. The brilliant industrialist Henry Ford understood this when he said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." Your attitude determines your altitude in life. Now, cultivating a prosperity mindset doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means approaching those problems with a conviction that solutions exist and that you have the capacity to find them. Begin writing down 3 things you're grateful for each evening. Notice opportunities instead of obstacles. Speak words of possibility rather than limitation. Your environment, this world in which you live and work, is simply mirroring back your predominant thoughts and expectations. Change those thoughts, and you change those thoughts, and you change the reflection. It really is that simple, though simple doesn't always mean easy. The magic of attitude is that it requires no special talent, no specific background, no permission from others. It is the one tool universally available to every person on this planet, and when you harness its power, you take the first crucial step toward living your best year ever. Lesson 2. The Strange Secret of Success. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. Isn't it curious how the most valuable secrets in life often hide in plain sight? Like a diamond resting on a sidewalk that thousands pass by daily, the true secret of success remains invisible to most people. Not because it's complex or difficult to understand, but because its simplicity makes it easy to overlook. The strange secret I'm about to share with you has transformed countless lives throughout history, yet only about 5% of people ever discover it. This secret is simply this: success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. Notice I didn't say success is making $1 million, though that might be part of it for some. I didn't say success is becoming famous or powerful. Success is moving, step by step, day by day, towards something you've decided is important to you. It's having direction rather than just motion in your life. Most people spend their days in motion. Busy, rushed, active, but without clear direction. They're like sailors without a destination, letting the winds and currents carry them wherever they may. But those who discover this strange secret transform their lives by selecting a worthy destination and adjusting their sails accordingly. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Do I have a clearly defined goal I'm working toward? Is this goal worthy of my time and energy? Am I making progress toward it regularly? If you can answer yes to all three, you've discovered the secret that eludes most people. Your worthy ideal might be building a business, raising wonderful children, mastering a craft, or serving your community. The specific goal matters less than having one that ignites your passion and aligns with your values. When you find this goal, something magical happens. Your days gain purpose, and your efforts gain power. The goal achievement formula is remarkably straightforward. First, decide exactly what you want. Be specific. Second, determine what you'll give in return for reaching this goal. Remember, there's no such thing as something for nothing. Third, set a deadline. Fourth, create a clear plan. Fifth, write it all down. And finally, read your written statement twice daily, morning and evening. This formula works with the certainty of mathematics when followed consistently. It has never failed anyone who has truly applied it, yet most people never give it a chance. They drift through life without direction, wondering why fulfillment eludes them. Your unique, worthy ideal is waiting to be discovered. It's that thing that aligns your talents with your passions and creates value for others. When you find it and apply the formula I've shared, you set foot on a guaranteed path to success. The choice is yours. Will you continue in motion without direction, or will you join the 5% who have discovered this strange secret, the quality of your year? Indeed, your entire life hangs in the balance of this decision. Choose wisely and watch as this simple secret transforms your world. Lesson 3. Planting the seeds of greatness. You are, at this moment, standing in the middle of your own acres of diamonds. The riches you seek, the life you dream of living, they're not in some distant land or future time. They're right here, right now, waiting for you to recognize them. I want you to understand a fundamental truth that has transformed countless lives. The law of the harvest. Simply put, you reap what you sow. This isn't just some pleasant saying. It's an ironclad principle that governs our existence. The seeds you plant today become the life you live tomorrow. And what is the most fertile soil on earth? It's not found in the rich farmlands of the Midwest or the valleys of California. It's between your ears. Your mind is the most productive ground ever created, capable of growing anything you deliberately plant within it. Most people never grasp this truth. They allow weeds of doubt, fear, and negativity to overtake their mental garden. They wonder why their lives produce a harvest of frustration when they've never intentionally planted seeds of success. Everything worthwhile requires a gestation period. The mighty oak doesn't spring up overnight. It grows steadily, day by day, from a tiny acorn. Your goals, your dreams, your best year ever, they follow the same natural law. The seeds you plant today may not flower tomorrow, but they are growing beneath the surface, developing strong roots that will sustain your success for years to come. What small actions can you take today to cultivate your mental garden? Start with your morning thoughts. Instead of reaching for your phone, the moment you wake up, plant intentional thoughts of gratitude and expectation. Visualize your day going exactly as you want it to unfold. This simple 5-minute practice, done consistently, will transform your life more profoundly than you can imagine. Throughout your day, be vigilant about the mental weeds that try to take root: worry, doubt, and criticism. Pull them immediately. Replace them with thoughts of possibility and appreciation. Ask empowering questions like, "What's good about this situation?" or "What can I learn here?" There are 3 types of mental seeds that produce the most abundant harvest. First, plant seeds of gratitude. Appreciating what you already have magnetically attracts more to be grateful for. Second, sow seeds of service. Looking for ways to add value to others creates an unstoppable momentum in your life. Third, plant seeds of growth. Committing to daily improvement ensures you become the person capable of living your dreams. What seems insignificant in the moment creates magnificent results over time. The person who saves just $100 a month becomes wealthy through the miracle of compound interest. The writer who pens a single page daily completes a book in less than a year. The salesperson who makes just 2 more calls each day doubles their annual contacts. You stand today in the middle of unlimited potential. The seeds of greatness are in your hands. What will you plant in the fertile soil of your mind? Your harvest, your very best year ever, depends on your answer. Lesson 4. The miracle of your mind. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become reality. Your mind is the most marvelous instrument in the universe. Right now, as you read these words, your brain is processing information at speeds that would make the most advanced computer seem like an abacus by comparison. Did you know that each day your mind processes more than 50,000 thoughts? That's an astonishing number, and yet most people never harness even a fraction of this incredible power. Think of your mind as having two distinct parts: the conscious mind that you're aware of right now, and the vastly larger subconscious mind that works ceaselessly behind the scenes. The conscious mind is the gatekeeper, making decisions about what information to let in or keep out. The subconscious is like fertile soil, accepting whatever seeds the conscious mind allows to be planted. Your mental filtering system, what scientists call the reticular activating system, is constantly scanning your environment. Have you ever noticed that when you decide to buy a certain car, you suddenly see that same model everywhere? That's your reticular activating system at work. It's bringing to your attention what you've programmed it to notice. This is why directing your thinking is so crucial. Your mind doesn't distinguish between positive thoughts and negative ones. It simply processes what you feed it most consistently. A person who constantly worries about failure is programming their subconscious, just as surely as the person who visualizes success. The difference is in the harvest they'll reap. The wonderful truth is that you can deliberately program your mind. When you understand this principle, life begins to transform in ways that might seem miraculous to others, but are simply the natural result of mental laws that have existed since time began. Try this simple exercise. For 5 minutes each morning, sit quietly and picture yourself having already achieved an important goal. Feel the emotions of success. Notice the details. Do this consistently, and you'll begin to see your subconscious mind working with you rather than against you. Another powerful technique is asking yourself quality questions. Instead of, "Why can't I ever get ahead?" try, "What's one step I can take today toward my goal?" The questions you ask direct your mental focus, and your focus determines your results. Reading good books daily feeds your mind with fresh, positive material. Just 20 pages a day will put you through more than 30 books in a year, far more than the average person reads in a lifetime. Writing down your thoughts helps clarify them, bringing the power of your subconscious to bear on problems and goals. Many of history's greatest thinkers kept journals for precisely this reason. Finally, guard your mind as you would guard a precious garden. Be selective about what you watch, read, and discuss. Your thoughts are the seeds of your future life. The miracle of your mind isn't really a miracle at all. It's simply the proper application of natural laws. Use these laws consistently, and you'll be astonished at what you can accomplish in a single year, let alone a lifetime. This is the miracle that's available to everyone, but used by so few. Lesson 5. Breaking free from the majority. The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it's conformity. Look around you, my friend. What do you see? Masses of people moving in the same direction, living lives of quiet desperation, accepting whatever circumstances come their way without question. They're the 95, the overwhelming majority who follow the path of least resistance throughout their lives. This path feels safe, comfortable, and familiar. But this comfort comes at a tremendous cost that few recognize until it's too late. When we set our lives on automatic pilot, we surrender the very freedom that makes us human, the ability to choose our own direction. Think about it. Most people wake up each morning, follow the same routine, drive the same routine, drive the same route, perform the same tasks, and return home to the same evening habits. Their thoughts are largely borrowed from others, from the news, from social media, from the prevailing opinions of their social circles. They've never stopped to question if this life truly reflects their deepest desires. The majority has been programmed since childhood. Get good grades, find a secure job, buy a house, save for retirement, and don't rock the boat. There's nothing inherently wrong with these goals, but accepting them without examination is the very definition of conformity. True courage in our modern age means stepping away from this well-worn path. It means examining your life with clear eyes and asking, is this truly what I want, or am I living someone else's prescription for happiness? Consider Thomas Edison, who was told by teachers he was too stupid to learn anything. Imagine if he had accepted their judgment. Or Henry Ford, who faced repeated business failures and ridicule for his vision of affordable automobiles for the masses. These people and countless others dared to break from conventional thinking. You needn't invent the light bulb to be extraordinary. The courage to break free often shows up in smaller moments. It's the courage to pursue an unlikely dream, to speak up when others remain silent, to forgive when bitterness would be easier, to persist when everyone suggests you quit. Start recognizing the social programming that limits you. Notice when you say, "That's just how things are done," or "people like me don't do that." These phrases reveal the boundaries of your conformity. Question them mercilessly. Begin with your media consumption. Most people allow random information to enter their minds without filter. Be selective about what you read, watch, and listen to. Seek out voices that challenge rather than merely reinforce your existing views. Next, examine your social circle. Are you surrounded by forward thinkers who inspire growth, or by those who subtly discourage ambition? The 5 people you spend the most time with shape your thinking more than you realize. Finally, practice small acts of nonconformity daily. Take a different route home. Strike up conversations with strangers. Question your habitual responses. These small experiments build the courage muscle needed for larger acts of independence. The path of independence isn't always easy, but it leads to a life of authentic creation rather than passive consumption. Those who dare to break from the majority discover something remarkable, the very uniqueness they once feared becoming their greatest strength. Lesson 6. Mastering your time. Your problem is not time, it's lack of direction. I've often observed that most people share a curious complaint. They say, "If only I had more time." Yet the wealthy tycoon and the struggling worker both receive exactly the same allotment. 24 hours each day, no more and no less. Time is the great equalizer, my friend. We each have precisely the same amount. The difference between achievement and mediocrity isn't found in having more time, but in how we direct the time we have. Consider this truth. Time management is actually life management. When you manage your time, you're really managing your life. The minutes and hours of your day are the building blocks of your existence. How you invest those blocks determines the structure of your life's achievement. Imagine 2 farmers with identical plots of land. One plants carefully, tends regularly, and harvests abundantly. The other allows weeds to grow freely, planting only when convenient, tending sporadically. The difference in their harvests isn't about the land, it's about what they did with it. Your time works the same way. The average person lives reactively, responding to whatever seems most urgent. They rush from fire to fire, exhausted by day's end with little meaningful progress to show for their efforts. The achiever, however, lives by priorities. They distinguish between what's merely demanding and what's truly important. They schedule their most valuable activities first and protect that time fiercely. Deep work is the currency of accomplishment in our distracted world. When you focus completely on one important task, giving it your undivided attention, you tap into capabilities that remain dormant during scattered efforts. 1 hour of deep work can produce results that 5 hours of interrupted effort cannot match. Create unbreakable routines that serve your highest aims. The most successful people rarely decide each morning what to do with their day. They've established patterns that automatically guide them toward their goals. When you build routines around your priorities, you no longer waste energy on decisions that can be automated. Would you like to know the secret to finding extra hours? Begin your day early before the world makes its demands. The quiet morning hours, when your mind is fresh and distractions are few, can become your most productive time. Rising just 1 hour earlier creates 365 extra hours per year, nearly 10 additional work weeks, to invest in your dreams. Saying yes to one thing means saying no to others. Every choice has an opportunity cost. Guard your time as your most precious resource. Learn to decline gracefully those activities that don't align with your direction, no matter how attractive they may seem. Your time is the canvas on which you paint your life. Each minute is a brushstroke. Will you create a masterpiece of purpose and achievement, or allow others to splash random colors across your days? The choice, as always, is yours. But remember, your problem is not time. It's direction. Choose your direction. Choose your direction wisely, and time will become your ally rather than your adversary. Lesson 7. The Power of Written Goals. There's a magic that happens when a thought transforms from an invisible whisper in your mind to visible words on a page. I'd like to share with you one of the most powerful secrets to living your best year ever, the extraordinary power of written goals. Many years ago, a fascinating study was conducted at Harvard University. Graduates were asked a simple question: have you set clear written goals for your future and made plans to accomplish them? Only 3% had written goals and plans. 13% had goals but hadn't written them down. The remaining 84% had no specific goals at all. 10 years later, the researchers followed up with the same group. The results were astounding. The 13% who had goals but hadn't written them down were earning twice as much as the 84% with no goals. But the most remarkable discovery was that the 3% with written goals were earning, on average, 10 times as much as the other 90. 7% combined. Why does writing down your goals create such dramatic results? When you write something down, you do something magical. You crystallize thought. Your vague desires and fuzzy aspirations suddenly take form. They become real. They exist outside of you. You've planted them in the physical world where they can grow. The act of writing activates a commitment within you. It's a declaration to yourself. This matters enough for me to define it clearly. Your subconscious mind, that powerful ally within you, now has clear instructions on what to help you notice, what opportunities to spot, what resources to gather. There's a correct formula for writing goals that your mind can process effectively. Begin by making them positive. State what you want, not what you don't want. Not what you don't want. Make them specific and measurable. Vague goals produce vague results. Set a clear deadline. A goal without a time frame is merely a wish. Most importantly, write them in the present tense, as if they're already accomplished. A balanced life requires balanced goals. Consider all domains: career, financial, family, health, spiritual, intellectual, and social. What would make this your best year ever in each area? What achievements would bring you joy and fulfillment? Write them down with care and precision. The most effective system is to review your written goals daily. Each morning, read them aloud with feeling and conviction. Visualize them as already accomplished. Feel the emotions of achievement. This daily practice programs your mind to recognize opportunities you might otherwise miss. You'll face obstacles. Doubt, procrastination, and distraction will try to derail you. But with your goals clearly written and reviewed regularly, you'll develop an inner compass that keeps you moving forward despite these challenges. Remember, people with written goals succeed because they know where they're going. They see the destination clearly while others wander without direction. Your written goals are your roadmap to living your best year ever. Take out your pen today. Your extraordinary future is waiting to be written. Lesson 8. The courage to begin. Don't let the fear of the time it will take to accomplish something stand in the way of your doing it. The most profound journey you'll ever undertake begins with nothing more dramatic than a decision to start. Right now, at this very moment, someone just like you is taking their first step toward an extraordinary life, not because they possess special talents or advantages, but because they summoned the courage to begin. This courage to begin separates the doers from the dreamers. We all have magnificent dreams tucked away in our hearts, but how many of us actually translate those dreams into action? The vast majority drift through life waiting for perfect conditions that never arrive. They say I'll start when I have more time or I'll begin when I feel more confident. But the truth is startlingly simple. There is magical power in starting now, exactly where you are, with whatever you have. Consider the mighty oak tree that begins as a small acorn. That acorn doesn't worry about how long it will take to reach its full height. It simply begins the process of becoming. The same principle applies to your greatest aspirations. The time will pass anyway. Will you have something magnificent to show for it? I've counseled thousands of people over the years, and I've noticed a curious pattern among those who achieve remarkable things. They rarely feel completely ready when they begin. The author starts writing before feeling inspired. The entrepreneur launches before every detail is perfect. The athlete begins training before feeling strong enough. They understand that readiness is a myth that keeps many good people from ever realizing their potential. When you take that first small step, something extraordinary happens. The universe responds to your courage. Resources appear that weren't visible before. Helpful people emerge from unexpected places. Your own hidden capabilities reveal themselves precisely when needed. It's as if the path illuminates itself not before you begin, but as you walk forward. Fear often disguises itself as practicality. I need to learn more first, or I should wait until circumstances improve. These seemingly reasonable thoughts are actually resistance in disguise. The antidote is to take one small action immediately, not tomorrow, not when you feel more prepared, but today. Right now, write the first paragraph of your book. Save the first dollar toward your dream. Make the first call. Take the first walk. The momentum created by beginning will carry you further than all the planning in the world. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action despite it. Every great achievement in human history began with someone who felt uncertain but started anyway. That same potential resides within you at this very moment. The clock is ticking. The pages of your calendar are turning whether you act or not. The question isn't, should I begin? But rather, how can I take my first step today? Your extraordinary life is waiting on the other side of that beginning. All that's required is the courage to start. Lesson 9. The magnificent power of persistence. The longer I live, the more certain I become that persistence is the greatest attribute of the human spirit. You can have all the talent in the world, all the education money can buy, all the opportunities that good fortune might bestow. But without persistence, these gifts lie dormant, like seeds that never break through the soil into sunlight. Persistence is the quality that separates the achievers from the dreamers. It's the force that pushes through obstacles when all logical signs suggest surrender. I've studied the lives of men and women who've accomplished remarkable things, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, they were not always the most brilliant, the most talented, or the most advantaged. But they were, without exception, the most persistent. Consider what happens in nature. The mighty oak doesn't spring up overnight. It grows slowly, persistently, through storms and drought, through winter frost and summer heat. It may grow just a fraction of an inch each day, but it never stops. That's the secret. It never stops. Your goals, your dreams, your best year ever follows this same natural law. Progress isn't always visible day by day. Sometimes you'll feel stuck, as though nothing is happening. But if you persist, if you take one more step, when you feel like quitting, the cumulative effect becomes unstoppable. The truth is, most people quit just before the breakthrough. They work toward their goals for weeks or months, see little evidence of progress, and surrender to discouragement. They were closer than they knew, but they'll never discover how close because they stopped too soon. I want you to understand something vital. Obstacles are not placed in your path to stop you. They're there to determine if you really want something badly enough. They're there to test your resolve and to strengthen your character. Every no brings you closer to yes. Every setback contains the seeds of an equal or greater comeback. When Thomas Edison was working on the light bulb, he tried over 10,000 different experiments before he found the right solution. Someone asked him how it felt to fail so many times. "I didn't fail," Edison responded. "I discovered 10,000 ways that don't work." That's persistence in action. Remember this: the stream doesn't cut through the rock because of its power, but because of its persistence. Water, one of the softest elements in nature, can eventually wear away stone, one of the hardest, not through force, but through persistent, consistent action. So how do you develop this quality? Start by committing to the long view. Understand that meaningful achievement rarely happens overnight. Break your journey into small, manageable steps and celebrate progress, no matter how slight. Keep your worthy ideal in front of you daily. When discouragement comes, and it will, remind yourself why you began. Each morning, say to yourself, "I will persist until I succeed." These 6 words have changed countless lives. They can change yours too. The world steps aside for the person who knows where they're going and refuses to stop. That person can be you. Persistence is not just about continuing to try. It's about continuing to believe. It's faith in action. And when you combine genuine belief with consistent action, you create the most powerful force for achievement known to humankind. This is the magnificent power of persistence, and it's waiting for you to claim it. Lesson 10. Creating a masterpiece each day. Each morning, when you open your eyes to greet the new day, you stand at the threshold of tremendous possibility. This day, this very day that stretches before you like a blank canvas, is the most important day of your life. Not yesterday with its mistakes and victories, not tomorrow with its promises and potential problems, but today. Today is the only day you can truly live. It's the only day you can paint your masterpiece. And each day gives you precisely the same number of hours and minutes as it gives to Helen Keller, Michelangelo, Mother Teresa, Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Jefferson, and Albert Einstein. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is found in how we use our daily allotment of time. The great achievers throughout history understood a fundamental truth. Life is built one day at a time. They didn't accomplish their magnificent achievements in giant leaps, but rather through small, consistent daily actions aimed at a worthy goal. Consider the mighty oak tree. It doesn't spring up overnight. It grows silently, steadily, one ring at a time. Some days it may grow more than others, depending on the conditions, but it never stops its upward progress. So it is with your life's masterpiece. Each day adds another brushstroke to the canvas. The quality of your days determines the quality of your life. This truth is so simple yet so profound that most people overlook it entirely. They wait for some magical moment when their real life will begin. After graduation, after marriage, after retirement. But life isn't waiting for you somewhere in the future. Life is happening right now, today. What if you approached each day as the precious gift it truly is? What if you woke up each morning with the thought, "Today I will create a masterpiece"? How would that change your actions, your attitude, your results? A masterpiece day doesn't happen by accident. It's created through intention and design. It begins with a clear picture of what you want to accomplish and why it matters. It continues with focused action on your most important priorities. It includes moments of connection with others, time for personal growth, and periods of recovery. Your masterpiece may look different from mine. Perhaps your canvas includes quality time with family, progress on an important project, exercise for your body, learning for your mind, and service to others. The elements of your masterpiece are yours to choose, but choose you must, or others will choose for you, and your day will be filled with their priorities rather than yours. Masterpieces are rarely created in chaos. They require structure and rhythm. Create morning and evening routines that bookend your day with purpose. Guard your time fiercely against the endless distractions that would rob you of your creative energy. Most importantly, bring your full attention to whatever you're doing. When you're with family, be fully present. When you're working, work with intensity and focus. When you're resting, rest completely. A masterpiece life is built through this kind of presence and engagement. Today is your opportunity to add another beautiful element to your life's canvas. Don't squander it on trivial matters or needless worry. Make it count. Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. Make it meaningful. For when you string together enough masterpiece days, you create a masterpiece life. Lesson 11. Magnificent hour of power. The richest asset we possess isn't money, property, or possessions. It's the precious golden hours of our days. And yet, we squander this treasure with a carelessness we would never show toward our material wealth. Today, I want to share with you a concept that has transformed countless lives: the magnificent hour of power. Imagine for a moment what your life might become if you dedicated just 1 hour each day, only one, 24th of your daily allotment, to deliberate personal development. This single hour, consistently invested, becomes the compound interest of your character and capabilities. The hour of power consists of 3 simple parts, each lasting 20 minutes. First, physical exercise, movement that awakens your body and floods your brain with oxygen and creativity. Walking, jogging, calisthenics. The form matters less than the fact of movement itself. Your body was designed to move, and when it does, it rewards you with energy, clarity, and vitality. The second 20 minutes is devoted to mental nourishment. Read something worthwhile, not the newspaper with its catalog of disasters, but material that expands your thinking, challenges your assumptions, and fills your mind with profitable ideas. Remember, we become what we think about, and reading directs our thoughts to higher ground. During these 20 minutes, you're literally programming your mind for success. The final 20 minutes is for reflection and planning. This quiet time of meditation, prayer, or thoughtful planning centers your spirit and connects your daily activities to your larger purpose. It's here where you'll find the peace that comes from knowing your place in the universe and the direction of your journey. The miracle of this hour of power lies not in any single day's practice, but in its cumulative effect. Like the steady dripping of water that eventually carves through solid stone, your daily hour reshapes your life with a power that seems almost magical when viewed over time. Most people never discover this secret. They're too busy responding to life's urgencies to invest in what's truly important. They tell themselves they don't have time, not realizing that this investment returns hours of productivity through increased energy, clearer thinking, and purposeful action. Begin your hour of power early in the morning, before the day's demands compete for your attention. The quiet hours when most still sleep contain a special power for those wise enough to claim them. As you establish this habit, you'll find yourself looking forward to this time as the foundation of your day. The only requirement is your unwavering commitment. Mark this hour in your calendar as you would your most important appointment, because that's precisely what it is. It's your appointment with the person you're becoming. Remember, friends, it's not what we do occasionally that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. Your hour of power, practiced faithfully, will become the rudder that steers your life toward its brightest possibilities. This is how ordinary people produce extraordinary results. This is how you'll live your best year ever. Lesson 12. The symphony of your magnificent years. You've arrived at the culmination of your journey, my good friend. Throughout these chapters, we've explored the remarkable power that resides within you, the power to transform your life completely by changing your thoughts, habits, and expectations. And now we stand at the threshold of your magnificent year. Think of your life as a grand symphony. Every decision, every thought, every action is a note in this beautiful composition. Some notes are played softly, others with thunderous intensity, but each one contributes to the masterpiece that is uniquely yours. The most fascinating discovery about this symphony is that you are both the composer and the conductor. You decide which instruments play loudly and which remain silent. You set the tempo and determine the mood. This magnificent orchestra responds to your leadership without question. Remember when we discussed how the world around you mirrors your attitudes and expectations? This is the moment where that principle shines most brilliantly. As you orchestrate your best year ever, you'll witness how your environment begins to harmonize with your internal music. The people around you will respond differently. Opportunities will appear where none seemed to exist before. Challenges that once appeared insurmountable will become stepping stones on your path. Not because the world has changed, but because you have changed how you conduct your symphony. Let me share a profound truth. Most people never realize they're holding the baton. They believe life happens to them, that they're merely musicians following someone else's score. They wait for instruction instead of giving it. But not you, not in you, not anymore. You've awakened to your role as the master conductor of your life's symphony. Begin each morning by reviewing the score you've written, your goals, your ideal vision for your life. See it clearly in your mind before your feet touch the floor. Feel the emotions of having already achieved your worthy ideal. This mental rehearsal primes your mind to recognize opportunities throughout your day that align with your symphony. When discord arises, and it will, remember that even in the most beautiful compositions, there are moments of tension that make the resolution all the more satisfying. These challenges aren't interruptions to your symphony. They're essential elements that give it depth and character. Each evening, take a few moments to appreciate the music you created that day. Acknowledge the beautiful notes, learn from the discordant ones, and prepare your mind for tomorrow's performance. Your magnificent year isn't about perfection. It's about progression. It's about creating a melody that inspires you to leap out of bed each morning, eager to continue the composition. The world eagerly awaits your symphony. No one else can create it. No one else can conduct it. This is your moment, your masterpiece, your magnificent year. The baton is in your hand. The orchestra awaits. Begin the music of your dreams and watch as the world dances to your tune.